Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente a Undergrounds Voice ao vivo. Hoje tenho aqui dois convidados de peso. Tenho aqui o Q e o Fieldy do Stillwell. Man, guys, thank you so much for being here. It's a huge honor for me to meet you guys and to have you here at Underground's Voice from Portugal. I'm really happy to meet you, really. So Stillwell is a completely different band from the other projects that you both have. So it's a band where you can explore your creativity in a way that you can't do in the other bands, or it's just something different that you like to do, or both.
It's as Fieldy would put it, it's just very different from what we do, and it was something that since the beginning of Stillwell was the direction we had to go because it's all about integrity and respect for the other things that we do, whether it's Korn or P.O.D. or Q Unique or whatever. If we're not here to clone and copy what we do in the other bands, we're here to start something new and fresh. And that was actually Fieldy from when we first started. He was the one that made that statement that it had to be different from everything else we did out of respect for the other bands that we're part of. So
yeah, and that's what you get when you get Stillwell. You get this thing that's put in a blender and it just becomes us. It's the outlet. It's nice. It's a forced outlet to keep us in a brand new thing that we even go, I don't know what this sounds like. Yep. Like we'll sit back and listen. What's it sound like to you? I don't know. Honestly, people ask me like, I don't know. It sounds like
it's us. That's the best. It's the best way to put. It's the chemistry that we have, and the musical chemistry turns into that sound.
Just sounds like some fun, cool music. I don't know.
It's great music. I love it.
Thank you.
Supernatural Miracle was released last year in September, and beside of having a different sound comparing to the previous releases, it also have a different vibe. I think it looks like you went to the vibe. I mean, it's more relaxed and fluid. It's easy to see that you guys had fun recording and composing these songs. And the other ones were much more overthinking about all the details, I think. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that, especially the first album. We were really overthinking way too much. And then when we got to the second album, Fieldy, we were driving, we were listening to the second album the other day. And we were laughing through it because we just felt like there was, again, in the second album, that maybe there might have been too many cooks in the kitchen. And when we got to this new album, all the positions changed. Fieldy went back to his specific office, which is bass, and I went into a new office, which is guitar and singing. And Wav, obviously, in his office with the drums, that was the good anchor. And then what helped me through the whole process was that Fieldy was like a coach through the whole thing, where I might play something and he'll be there to watch and he'll make suggestions. And I know that he could play better than me. So at times if I said, well, here, you play it, he'd be like, nope, you're going to play it because your hand moves different from mine. And it made this album what it became. Not a lot of cooks, not a lot of overthinking, and just having fun with the songs.
And too many hats on the old stuff. It's like, this is one hat, one big hat, one umbrella, Ella, A.
Yeah.
This album is having a great feedback, right?
Everybody's showing a lot of love for this specific album, yes. The feedback has been amazing. And what also makes it really cool is that we really did this independently. There's no distribution, there's no label, there's no nothing. It's just, for the most part, us handling everything from filming our own videos, editing our own videos, mailing our own merchandise, pressing our own merchandise, coming up with all the ideas. And then on the side, we started doing like comedy sketches to like kind of like add to what it was that we were, and giving more of a character of who we were as a part of our character to the people that listen.
Yeah.
It would be my next question because you're using social media more than ever before to promote the band and the album, and without concerts yet. So it's the best way to keep in touch with the fans, and also to get new fans, of course. But we took it to another level with these sketches and funny videos. So how did you add this idea of these videos, and can you tell us about this concept?
The video
The
concept.
the comedy sketches and why how and why we did them.
I mean, we don't want to jump too far ahead, but I think it kind of just started because it was, I don't know, just an idea that I don't remember who came. What was the first one? What was the first one we did? I don't remember.
We did an interview. We interviewed each other in the very first one, and I think we were looking. You know what? It's not that I think we were looking at what the Foo Fighters were doing most of the time, and
yeah.
Well,
you showed me the. I think the first thing you showed me was
the coffee,
the fresh pot, like Dave Grohl, and you showed me it, and I was like, that's funny, you know. It's like, so other bands are doing it, so they kind of inspired us, I guess, because you showed me.
Mastodon did one, and so we were looking. Look, the truth is, when we're together, we have a lot of fun. Sometimes we're laughing more than we're making music. We're just having a lot of fun with who we are as friends. And after like really paying attention to some of the bands that we like the Foo Fighters in particular, we noticed that they have that whether it's music videos or they do their little comedy sketches, that they have fun. So we wanted to have people watch us to have fun. That's what it was about.
Yeah. We need that.
What?
We need that, you know, fun. You know, and people need to start having a good time, man. It's inspiring to watch when he's the one to show me. He's a comedy guy, to tell you the truth. He's seen every comedy, every comedian, every comedy show, everything you name it. So he showed me, you know, obviously Foo Fighters and all this stuff. And I'm like, I love to laugh and have fun. So I'm like, sounds good to me. When do you want to do it? So now he's careful when he goes, I have an idea. I'm like, what is it? Because he knows I'll go hop over there and do it right now. Are you ready?
Yeah,
better go comb your hair.
It's true.
Videos are really awesome. And when Spider left the band like 3 years ago or like that, he was not replaced by anyone. Why did you decide to continue as a trio?
We just you know what? Whenever we start an album, it always starts with him. He's the one that makes the call of let's start writing again. And the way we're set up is that I'll go on tour with Korn, and for the majority of the day, we're just writing music. We might do like little creative projects on the side, but we've written so much music in the past 14 years for Stillwell, for maybe he'll get a feature and we'll work on it together for some artist, or we did his solo bass album. So he'll always be the one to call the shot. He's the one that actually called each album, like, all right, we're going to start working on this album and we're going to jump into this album. So we kind of like wait for him to throw up the bat signal, and then we'll just jump in and do it. And as far as Spider, you know, the lesson in that is that first of all, that's our brother. We'll always love him, and he's our friend. But the lesson in that is that this industry is tough, and it's not for everybody. And you know, it's one thing to look at it and see the fun in it from the outside, but when you go behind the scenes, it's a tough business, man. It's a really tough business, and he had to make a really tough decision. We have a couple of friends that made that decision recently, where they walked away from this industry because it's tough. It's a lot of sacrifice, man.
It's not as glossy as it looks for everybody. Like when we turn the cameras off, we're like this. Hey, how's it going? You know, so it's like you got to, you know, it's you know, he showed me that comedian where he's like just like saying this is what it is pretty much.
Yeah, Ryan Davis. He did this list.
Ryan Davis. He did a list of all the things life is of you know, being a comedian, which is the same as pretty much I was he showed it to me. I was like, that's the same as being a rock star. Yeah. The same exact everything he laid out. Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to do this? And I was like, wow, that's all everything. Almost 95%, 7%.
Yeah.
There's maybe 3%. I was like, I don't know about that, but he was pretty spot on. It was good.
It's a lot of sacrifice and it's a lot of work that has no glory, but you have to really love it. You have to really love this
Yeah.
to look past all of that, because at the end of the day, one of the discoveries that we made recently is that it's kind of almost like an illusion at times where you can't really believe what you're seeing, you know? So you just got to hold on to what's pure, and that's creating. When they call that God consciousness, when God is in the room and the music comes out and you see this beautiful thing happen and it's coming from nowhere, but it really is coming from this spiritual place. That's what you hold on to. As far as the business and all of the shenanigans, it's like, it's whatever.
Yeah, you can't think about the business too much, you know, unless you own it.
Yeah.
Which we do. And once we own Stillwell business, it's when you own it all, it's not that hard.
No.
If you own everything. But when a bunch of machines come in, it's really hard. But as we handle shipping and handling the merchandise right out of our warehouse we're in right now.
Yeah.
And the studio downstairs, we have everything under one warehouse. So we can move from the studio to shipping. It's like, it's not really hard, you know.
But it's work.
But if it gets big enough, then you hire a few people.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's if I had to redo it, I'd probably do it where you kind of own everything, you know, but money talks.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
And besides these lineup changes, you also switch instruments, like you said before. Fieldy was on guitar and now he's on the bass, and Q was only on the vocals and now on the guitars.
Right.
So when did you feel that this change would make sense for the band, and did the band take a step forward with all these changes?
It started with the first song. We were, I always tell this story. We were listening to the latest. We started writing this album when the last Queens of the Stone Age album came out, called Villains. And the first thing we thought about was, as we were listening to that album, was we wanted to make cool music, like fun vibe music. We didn't want to do anything sad or draggy. And so what was interesting was me and Fieldy we started to write this album with just keyboards and drum machines. We didn't even have instruments yet. And I went home and plugged in the guitar and just played according to what we had already played. And I started like the process because, you know, Fieldy and Love, they have their day jobs already. So I have to kind of like go in and kind of like start laying certain things down so that it makes the car move a little faster than it would. So when I came back to him and I showed him what I did, that's when he was like, all right, so you're going to stay on guitar and sing. I'm going to go back to bass, and obviously Wub will play what he plays. And it was really that simple. It was all based first on the songs. It actually, to him, it's like, or even to me, it doesn't matter who's playing what. Is the song good? Cool. Then we'll move and see who's going to do what.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you finally found your identity as a band? Is this the sonority that you will continue to explore in the future?
I feel like it's identity finding of, we're not really like say, okay, I've embraced, I'm a bass player. That's years ago. I know I'm a bass player. That's why I'm back on bass. But realizing that we're overall music lovers and entertainers, and we'd like to be on stage and we like to be on the camera. So that's what we embrace, our identity of who we are. That's what we are.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. It's like, it's not, you know, yeah, am I going to stay on bass? Yeah, because I'm a bass player. That's where it's going to get the best. Everybody's going to stay where their pocket's at, you know?
Yes.
Even when we do sketches, we play a role. He has a role. I'm not going to jump and be in his role. And if I did, it would probably be funny.
It probably would be.
We might even have to do that. And you play my role.
Yeah, I could do it. We could do it. I know we could do it.
Made up one right here.
But see, the problem with what he just did now is that he's saying that, and as soon as we're finished, he's going to make me go to our camera room and start something that fast. That's the problem. So I got to be careful to what I agree to.
And well, Stillwell have a nice and funny mascot, Peter the Rhino. Can you tell us the story behind Peter?
Peter is me paying homage to my cousin. I have a cousin named Peter, and he was the first person in my life that introduced me to heavy music. So when I was a little kid, he would, you know, he was obviously older than me, and he would play, like, whenever I would go visit my aunt, he would bring me to the room and he'd put on Black Sabbath and he'd make me sit there and he would describe what was going on. And I was too young to really understand, but I knew I liked what I was hearing. And so when we came around to creating the Rhino, his name just popped in my head, and I just wanted to, I guess, show him love for being one of the first people to introduce me to this type of music. So that's basically it.
Yep. There you go. Now we have a Peter.
A little more than 10 years ago, Fieldy converted to Christianity, leaving behind a life of abuse in many ways. So I'm sure this decision brought many changes in your personal life. But what influence does it continue to have in your career with Stillwell and Korn?
I mean, it's not like I don't know if it's influence. It's just, you know, what do you say, Christianity? It's just kind of like something I can't explain, where you have an encounter, but that I have an encounter with the Holy Spirit of Jesus Christ that kind of just guides me into a direction, but lets me be human. You know, like I can still be me, but it kind of helps. You know, he helps me to go where I'm supposed to go, and you know, it's kind of like the shepherd. You know, you go too far of the sheep, you get eaten by the big bad wolfies. You know, so he kind of gets, you know, that's what I feel, and I can't shake it because it's been over, you know, since 2005, and it's just, you know, I can't go too far from the flock. That's all it is. So I can do what we can do what we want. We're free to sit here and do anything we want. There's no rules, you know, but it does help guide your life. That's for me. It's helped to guide my life in direction, and you know, I'm not, you know, like I just read the other day, speaking of that, Apostle Paul said, you know, I'm not the best speaker, but I don't lack in wisdom and knowledge and this, you know, and all these things of that. Because we're not good speakers doesn't mean that we're not given this. How do you have so much wisdom and knowledge in this? I go, I don't. It's not me. That's why I can explain it, because before that encounter, I was a complete fool. And now that I'm older, you know, because I was a fool, I learned how to talk slang. I didn't pay attention in English. That doesn't mean my brain up here doesn't know what's up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And when can you expect in the near future from Stillwell?
Oh, well, we started working on the new album already. We because of the time that we've had with this situation in the world today, we were able to turn into more. We were able to be way more productive than we ever been in the whole time we were doing Stillwell. We started writing a lot of new songs. We started filming a lot of new things, and the merch, we got better with that. So we're bettering the situation with Stillwell and thinking well detailed. I think he's going to show you some of the packaging.
Yeah, we got our own like packages that we ship out.
Like when people,
we do it right here from the house, right? And then we designed a box right here.
So when people order,
so we're designing that. It still takes time, you know, to do all that.
Yeah.
And it goes out. That's coming out of that, you know, right now. We're gonna go ship that today.
So
designing boxes, it's all art.
Yeah.
It takes time.
And the beauty of the time that unfortunately it's a crazy time, but we were able to take the crazy time and just slow down for a second and pay attention to what was in front of us and not jump in so much of the arguing and the hate and the craziness that was going on. And it made us really think about the details of what it was that we're doing. So when it came to merch, he stepped up and he is like, we got to do this. And we were able to make it happen. And when we came to filming, we started, you could see that when you watch from the first sketch all the way to the end, you could see the progress getting better and the filming getting better and the acting getting a little better and the music is getting better. So we were able to take this time and really pay attention to what it was that we created with this Stillwell thing.
I think we decided it's more like a movement than it is just music. It's a bigger picture of this big, we like it all. So we can't just say it's one or the other, but you know, it's always music involved. That's the root of all this, you know, but at the same time, we like to do everything.
Yeah.
Who knows? We might make a movie.
Yeah.
We might,
we thought about it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We might build a house.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Wov.
Now we got Wov and Garrett.
Exactly.
Don't be surprised you don't got a hammer in your hand.
Yo, man. Not unless I'm playing Thor in the next Marvel movie.
Well, we'll let you wear the Thor outfit while you're helping us build a house. How's that work out for you?
Let me think about it, man.
I got to wrap it up. He can wrap some more, but I got to get going, man. I got kids. I'm trying to run kids out of the house and all that. I got to take my son to pick up his e-bike. I don't know if those are big over there for you guys, but I got to take him to go do that. And my daughter's coming and shuffling the home life too. But if you have any questions for me, leave any out, let me know, and I can answer them through email or whatever. If you have a last question for me or anything.
It's last questions of the interview right now. So
this is the last question. Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it then.
Yeah. First of all, I'll want one of those boxes. I will order one.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll
man.
I'll do it just after the interview for sure. And finally, guys, thank you so much for being here. It's a huge honor to meet you once again. I'm really happy and proud to have you at Underground's Voice. I know you listened that a million times, but you and Korn changed my life, man. It was Korn who took me to the metal world. So without Korn, I would be the same guy. I wouldn't have Underground's Voice for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really a huge honor for me. I'm really happy for that. So
I'm Peter. Right on. I kind of look like a Rhino, I guess.
Yeah, you do. You
That's
walk
cool,
like
man.
one.
You better believe it. I walk like something. It ain't a human though. All right, I appreciate it. Thanks for I'm Peter's glad I was here for you. Much love, man. Fieldy, I'm out.
Thank you so much, man. And any last words for the Portuguese fans and Underground's Voice viewers?
We just want to thank you guys for the support. Thank you for checking out our music. Obviously, thank you for supporting the other things that we do from Korn, P.O.D, King's Bounty, Q Unique. We're just very thankful and appreciative. And thank you, man.
Thank you, man. And see you soon. Take care, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take it easy, man.